Have you ever been watching your favorite cartoon and felt like it's trying to sell you something while at the same time telling you that buying stuff is bad? It's this really weird contradiction, right? The same shows that give us these beloved brand mascots are also dishing out some of the sharpest critiques of consumer culture out there. So today, let's unpack this fascinating paradox. I mean, really think about it. Why do we trust a tiger to sell us cereal? It's a great question. And the answer is actually pretty deep. We trust Tony the Tiger because he's not just a drawing, he's a character. We feel like we know these animated figures build this emotional connection that makes us feel like we're interacting with a friend, not just some faceless corporation. And believe me, this is nothing new. For more than 100 years, companies have been using these charming animated characters to get our attention. A friendly cartoon face makes a brand memorable. It makes it relatable and just way more approachable than a boring old logo ever could be. And this strategy has some serious staying power. I mean, think about the Michelin Man all the way back in 1898, or the Pillsbury Doughboy popping up in the 60s. And who doesn't remember Coca-Cola's polar bears from the 90s? These characters aren't just ads. They've become a real lasting part of our culture, okay? So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at how cartoons work as brand ambassadors. Then we're going to get into a really important concept called media hegemony. After that, we'll explore 3 big ways cartoons actually push back against consumerism, which will lead us right into this mind-bending postmodern paradox. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with what you can look out for yourself, all right? To really get a grip on this tension between cartoons as commercials and cartoons as critics, we need to talk about this one core idea. Media hegemony, probably the easiest way to think about it, is as the cultural background noise that's always on, quietly shaping how we see the world. So the official definition is when a certain way of life, let's say consumerism, is so common in everything we watch and read that it just starts to feel like the default setting for how society should work. It's not like someone is forcing you to believe it. It's just presented over and over again as the normal, natural way things are. And this quote from the scholar John Story really nails it. Hegemony isn't about control through force. It's about getting everyone to agree. It's when we all kind of, without even thinking about it, support ideas like happiness comes from buying things. Because that's the message we see everywhere. It just seems desirable and normal. But here's where it gets really interesting, because even with that dominant consumerist message playing in the background, a lot of cartoons are actively fighting back. So let's dig into 3 common ways they do it. So these are the 3 main lines of attack. You could say they go after corporate greed. They turn the mirror back on us and our own choices, and they promote other values like charity instead of just buying stuff. Let's break these down one by one. First up, corporate malfeasance. You know, the type cartoons love to create these ridiculously evil billionaire villains. You've got Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, this greedy monster who pollutes everything and couldn't care less about his employees. Or you have Mr. Big from Work Girl, a CEO whose whole business plan is literally based on mind control and tricking people. And maybe no movie takes this idea to its absolute extreme more than WALL-E. I mean, in that world, the by and large corporation isn't just a company, it's the government, it's everything. It's this one single entity that has consumed the entire planet, buried it in garbage, and sent all of humanity off into space. It's the ultimate warning about unchecked corporate power, okay? But the second theme kind of flips the script and puts the focus on our individual responsibility. There's this classic South Park episode where everyone in town hates what Walmart is doing to their local shops, but they just can't resist those low prices. So when they finally break into the headquarters to destroy the heart of the evil corporation, they find out it's just a mirror. The point being the monster was them all along. And you know what? WALL-E makes the exact same point, just in a different way. The humans living on that spaceship are just lazy, passive consumers. The captain has to literally fight the ship's computer to take back control of his own life. The movie is basically saying that this kind of corporate control only works because we as individuals let it. We choose convenience over consciousness. And that brings us to the 3rd theme, which is all about offering an alternative charitable efforts. The Grinch is the perfect example, right? He steals all the presents thinking that'll stop Christmas, but he learns the holiday isn't about what you buy in a store, it's about community. And then you've got shows like Handy Manny, where the characters teach kids to donate their old books to the library, promoting reuse and helping your neighbors instead of just buying new things. Okay, so we have cartoons that sell us things, and we have cartoons that criticize selling things. What on earth happens when those two forces collide in the same show? Well, that's when we get the postmodern paradox. This weird loopy situation where a commercial product is criticizing the very system that made it. And there is no better case study for this than The Simpsons. For decades, that show has made fun of absolutely everything about consumer culture, from corporate greed and celebrity ads to cheap products. And the whole marketing machine, it's famously anti-establishment, and yet at the absolute peak of its popularity, the show's #1 rebel, Bart Simpson, became the official spokesperson for Butterfinger candy bars, and he had this iconic catchphrase that was everywhere. And this wasn't some accident. No, this was a massive multi-million-dollar ad campaign, all planned out by a marketing executive named Mark Stroman. It was a genius move. Really, they took the show's rebellious, anti-authority coolness and attached it directly to a major candy brand. The rebel became a salesman. It's the paradox in action, and that right there is the heart of it. The Simpsons, a TV show that makes its money from ads on a corporate network, got paid a ton of money by another huge corporation to use its anti-corporate characters to sell you a product. It's a critique of capitalism that's been neatly packaged and sold to you by capitalism. So after all that, what are we supposed to do with this information? What's the big takeaway? The next time you binge watching your favorite animated show, well, here are the key things to remember first. Cartoons are incredibly powerful tools for persuasion. Whether they're selling you cereal or an idea. Second, a lot of those same cartoons are asking some really tough questions about our consumer culture. And third, and this is the wild part, those critiques are usually being funded and broadcast by the very system they're making fun of. It just shows you what a complicated dance it is between art and commerce. So next time you watch, see if you can spot these tensions playing out, which leaves us with one final question for you to chew on. When you sit down to watch your favorite cartoon, what are you really consuming? Are they selling you a product, or are they selling you a critique? Or have they figured out how to sell you the critique as the product? It's something to think about. Thanks for watching.